AI, anomalies.
Is that what this is titled?
Artificial intelligence.
Is that what this is titled?
World anomalies. Grand Canyon caves.
Who did Dad mention at the lunch table? Somebody who was that, Dad? You were talking about that channel and that they did that thing recapping the conversation that the podcast I did.
Todd Friel? Yeah. I can't say his name. Yeah. Something like that.
Dad said, did you see where they did something on so-and-so? And you were like, yeah, I saw that. And then Dad was like, yeah, they're a turd. It was like somebody like Joan. Or
Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yeah. Who is that? Chip and Joanna Gaines.
They got like a big, their forte is they flipped houses back in the day, and they got really good at decorating.
Waco, Texas.
Yeah, they got really good at decorating, so they had these flip your house, redecorate your house, put shiplap up all throughout your house.
Shiplap.
Yeah. This was on TV or YouTube?
Home decor. It was on TV. I think they have like exclusive deals to one of those, like Hulu or something like that now that you pay to have on your TV to do. But they evidently got big in the...
Yeah, it's called Fixer Upper, Corn.
Evidently they've got big show. in the homosexuals now. Yeah.
Really? Okay,
they gotten big in with them.
Yeah, what's the deal here? Because it sounded like you had done some research on that, Chili, and Cornbread's heard about it. I haven't heard anything about it.
No, I hadn't done no research. I just know who it is. They're huge. Fixer Upper is a TV show doing what Chad Corn said, but they're Christians, outspoken Christians. So it's a big controversy because they did something with a gay. I don't know. I don't know the details. I just know who they are.
Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you can't even hang around a gay. I mean,
I think they what'd they do? Fix up a gay couple's house?
Yes,
probably.
Like that. And I think they're like leaning or going to try to develop a line of home decor for the LGBTQRSTUV people.
Okay, yeah. So that
got it. Yeah.
Who says you can't invite? Who says that if you have a TV show, you fixing up houses, you can't have a homosexual come on and you fix your house up with him? I mean, look, some of these homosexuals that I've hung out with around, they're funny as crap. They're good people. I mean, they're funny people. They're not awful, terrible, like kill you, evil people, man. They just they've got a problem, in a area of their life. So these people are getting tore up because they fixed up a homosexual's house and they're supposed to be Christian.
Yeah, that's what they're mad at. I don't know what they're mad at. I don't know all the details. They may have come out and supported it, I don't know if they came out and said that they think it's okay. I would imagine that would be the issue with it. But I don't know if they did that or not. I don't know if they just fixed it up and that made everybody mad, or they condoned the behavior.
Surely there's something else to it.
They may be celebrating it. I don't know.
Yeah. Surely there's something else to it, man.
I don't know, man.
I'm
not going to speak on it if I don't know more details.
You got anything else on that?
No, I don't know the intricate details of the whole thing.
Because I've been out of the loop for so long. What is going on in the world?
AI is about to bring it to us, son.
Really?
About to bring it in hot.
They've come up with new developments.
Have you been here?
I haven't done a Wednesday show
since we've talked about AI and the Epstein stuff. Have you kept up with any of that?
No, I have no idea what's going on in the world.
Oh, buddy.
You said you don't. When you got back, you said you don't give two craps about what's going on with it.
Well, I don't, but I'm just getting my brief in just so I can have some awareness.
Yeah.
The big tech heads are all going out and doing a lot of interviews. Sam Altman, he just did an interview with Theo Vaughn. He's the founder of OpenAI that brought to you ChatGPT.
Okay.
And Peter Thiel has been doing interviews. He's the Old Palantir head. Old Palantir.
Well,
That's big news right there.
do people think they've got like they're about to release some new technology, or do they have some theory on why these heads are going to do interviews? I
Well,
mean,
the new version of ChatGPT is coming out.
okay.
Palantir just got that deal with the Trump administration and the big beautiful bill to Palantir. Yeah, that's increased surveillance, and the security state has arrived.
Yeah.
Even worse than it was.
What do you know about this?
Signed into law.
It's under the guise as a race against China to get the best AI technology going forward. So under the Trump bill, they are steamrolling facilities to build these big AI supercomputers. Like, it takes away all EPD, all EPA regulations. Like, you don't silt fence, for example. You ain't got to worry about none of that. We want that booger built as fast as we can. We want to get the land wherever we want to get it as fast as we can. We've got things in here that says your citizens of your county and or city, if you agree to bring this to your county and or city, may not have to pay property taxes. So it's appealing to the community, right? Like, oh, we ain't gonna have to pay property taxes, so let's tear down, this Walmart and put up a dang big AI facility right here, and we won't have to pay property tax. Those AI facilities, those big massive computers, they have to have a lot of water to cool the system. Like, those things overheat and get really, really hot really, really fast.
It's like a massive moonshine steel.
So they drain the water resource real big. So it's probably, and I could be wrong about this, what little bit of research I've done, is probably going to, that kind of thing with the attractiveness of not paying taxes and where we're going to build them, so on and so forth, may end up being in your more rural communities. You take Georgia, for example. Cobb County, Metro Atlanta, they're fighting for water constantly. Up there at Chattooga County, the water just bubbles out of the ground all the time.
Yeah.
So, it may be more appealing. They may have structured it to put it in these places where these people are poor and don't really want to pay, so they could fight for the commissioners to be elected, fight for the councilmen to be elected. That will help bring those AI facilities in so they don't have to pay property taxes. So they're putting a lot of things in it to make it appealing for the people to do it. But another thing is, when we was all worried about Epstein and you was gone, they slipped this crypto bill in to where they can regulate the crypto. The feds can regulate crypto, but it don't have any blockers in it to expand to your banking account, that your money that you've made without crypto. And they don't think there's going to be enough votes to end up blocking that later on to say, okay, we can't outstretch this to the American people's checking accounts, to their everyday banking needs. So this AI is wrapped up. They're wrapping it in everything to try to steam forward ahead.
Why? What is this AI doing for anybody? I don't use it.
Well, it's
that I know of.
The argument is it's making everything easier.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Everything.
By like what? Like because of my only understanding.
Well, it's automation. So
like you can use it to write a paper or whatever. Like, but they're these big old plants that they want to build. What's the purpose of that? What is it doing?
Well, you need that. The need for that is to be able to. It's because of how much power, it takes to run these things.
Yeah.
It's like supercomputer. You know what I mean?
And then they're going to use the information or the ability produced by that supercomputer to do what?
Okay, well, Palantir. Back to Palantir. They're a data collector, so they are collecting data on everybody in the entire world, every American, but everybody, period. And they have unbelievable amounts of consumer data. And with that data, you can sell that data and you can make plans off of that data. So when the government is surveilling the U.S. citizens to the highest degree possible, to the point where they've collected even biometric data. You know, we talked about that years ago. Whenever the 23andMe thing, you can send your DNA to go get your ancestors' DNA. Well, they take that data and they collect it, and they just had a lawsuit.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean, they were sending that data off and selling it to nefarious places. Well, it's because they want every piece of data they can get on every single person. When you know absolutely everything about everybody, man, that's powerful.
They want that because they can use it to like sell things to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can do so much with it. I mean, think about what can you not do with it? You know everything about everybody, and you know
build sicknesses against their DNA.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's
exactly. True. That's what's being done with it. I mean, you can research that DNA, and you have such a variety of DNA given to you that you can test and work on and figure out what it's resistant to, what it's not resistant to. That's what you do with biometric data. But just regular data, I mean, consumer data and product data, yeah, how valuable is that to know what people are clicking on and watching on YouTube and what they purchase and when they purchase? And
so companies with products will buy that information so that they
do all the time.
They can directly market to the right people who are wanting to buy their products.
It'll be a steady input of stuff. I don't know how specifically the AI works, but it's constantly learning itself. It's constantly evolving itself to do whatever that specific AI program is supposed to do better and better and better and more efficient and more efficient and more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, it's for automation. You say, like, what's the purpose of building all these things? Why do you want more AI and more powerful AI? Because it can do so many different things. It will affect every appliance in your house, to where your your refrigerator and your microwave and your toaster has AI in it that will operate more efficiently and effectively, and not even need you to get up off the couch to go do something or turn this down or turn this up. It's all automated. It's all just seen as a advancement in technology and ease of use, so society runs more smoothly and efficiently and is interconnected to a point where you don't have to. Yeah, another advantage of it, think about the electric car example. If electric cars all run off of AI and that's artificial intelligence is driving everybody around, well, that takes away human accident, right? Yeah. So it's seen as a safety thing. It's seen as, well, you will implement this and less people will die from vehicular accidents. Yeah, I mean, there's a million reasons why they suggest growing it.
Is this leading us? Is this really what has to happen for these smart cities to be created, like you've been preaching for years, Chili?
Yeah, I mean, that it's absolutely a prerequisite for it. How you can't do that without this technology, because it won't be interconnected. It won't allow a system to be made to where everybody can be totally funneled into a city where everything is communal, because that's the premise behind it, is that the private ownership of anything won't be needed. Yeah. It will seem so outdated and inefficient. It's like, well, if you go, and just impossible. I mean, if you can make the cars easy, everything's public transportation. Everything's a taxi. Everything's you get into
you're seeing that big time now. We were just in Austin, and there's like everywhere these taxis that there's nobody driving them.
Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
I mean,
that's
a car.
It's a car
that
with
is
all
critical.
these sensors all over it, and you just get in the back seat, and it takes you to wherever you want to go.
Really?
That is critical, man. You have to have a driverless car come up, and it will pull up exactly on time. No accidents. I mean, theoretically, it's impossible, right? Because there's no human behind it. I mean, of course, it could mess up, but
what do you do? Tell it where you type in something where you want to go?
Look here, Bubba. Look, I ain't getting in one of them things. I don't know what the crap it does.
I mean, it's no different than how when we get into a car and pull up Apple Maps and start following it. But the car, based off of the directions that the Maps program gives it, will follow that on its own and know when to accelerate, and it's a computer, right? So every car will have that computer and technology in it, so it will know where the other one is. It will know how to avoid anybody else. It will come to stops and accelerate around, go here. Yeah. They'll all go the speed limit. Nobody will get hurt, and it'll pull you around. So, yeah, the private ownership of cars is too dangerous. So that will go away.
It's all about control in the end.
Well, yeah.
But it sounds good.
Well, yeah, humans are happy to give up things that are in the moment that they don't like to do.
Yeah.
They can't think far enough ahead to realize what it's going to cause.
Yeah, it is another example of trading safety for freedom for safety. Yeah, trading away your freedom for more safety.
Yeah.
That's the premise of AI. I mean, that's what a lot of it does. You know, you'll even have the people like Sam Altman openly admit that they don't know how to protect people's privacy with these Chat GPT and things like that. You know, more and more people are using it as a therapist.
Yeah.
you know,
I've heard that. Yeah.
And you know, going to asking it for advice and everything. And you know, the actual AI language model is learning off of the input that it gets from every single person. So when you tell it that you are dealing with this, it will help somebody else partially with what it had learned from its conversation with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it could end up causing just a variety of problems on that end. And there's the fact of there are humans behind it, and they can read everything that anybody puts in it. Of course, they're not supposed to. They say they don't, right? But there are humans behind this that can, I mean, they could have a transcript of anything they wanted to find.
Yeah.
You know.
Is this good or bad, Cornbread?
I believe it's bad, even just from the minute things that we see right now. Number one being on social media or whatever, you can watch that AI now. Right now, you can pretty much tell, okay, this is a little bit fake. But these videos that you was just on Joe Rogan, they have videos of Joe Rogan saying stuff, and it's Joe Rogan's voice, and Joe Rogan didn't say it. And as that gets tweaked a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and gets to the point of, oh, well, that's definitely Donald Trump up there saying we have no other choice but to nuke China. Like, you know, this has to happen. I think it's real bad. And the deception level of it,
Yeah.
it has excellent voice recognition already at the infant stages. And you can see where it's developing just levels of different thing that can be used for deception really, really quick.
I seen a video the other day. This guy was demonstrating it, and he had somebody come up on stage, and they had a live basketball game streaming in the background. And he got his phone, and he walked around the guy with his video camera, and then he uploaded that information into whatever computer thing, and he replaced one of the basketball players in the live game with that guy. So, you know, whoever it was out there on the court, Steph Curry, will go shoot a three-pointer. It was all Steph Curry's moves, but it was this guy's body as the picture, and it looked like a normal, just looked like he was out there playing in his clothes, and it was a live game, like, you know, so everybody watching it there.
And you think how much we rely on video itself now, just in law enforcement as proof. Police body cams, you know, video storage of, you know, the liquor store that got robbed. Well, what happens if somebody decides, well, that Chad Wright, man, I don't really care for him. This is messed up. He robbed this liquor store. Look, here's the video. He robbed the liquor store.
Well, the thing is you'll actually always be able to tell when an AI video, well, I don't know about always, but you can tell the difference right now.
Yeah, you can tell it good.
No, right, I don't even mean you can tell by watching it. I mean, you can get into the metadata of the video itself and know whether it was an authentic video or AI video. Yeah. Like, even if if you saw a video and you said, I'm convinced that's real, you can look at the metadata and go, oh, it's actually an AI. Right. Holy crap, it's gotten that good. But the problem is if it is that good, no one's going to look at that.
I don't know how to look at that.
It will just get spread on social media, and millions of people will think it's real, even though technically you could go back and go, oh, it isn't real. Yeah. That doesn't matter, really, because once it's fooled millions of people, well, you're never going to get that back in the bag and be like, oh, it's fake.
Have you seen all these animals jumping on trampolines?
Yeah.
I saw that the other day. A deer jumped up on a trampoline and jumped. And it looked so real. somebody had to, it looked like it was their security cam, and a big buck came in their yard and jumped up on a trampoline and like bounced 2 times. And I was like, Rook, look at this. And she looked at it and she was like, that's not real. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess it's not real, but it looked legit, man.
Yeah. It's also, you kind of have to define what you even mean by AI. Because we say AI, but what do we even mean when we say that? Because are you talking about ChatGPT, or are you just talking about the broad sense of the new technology that the system? It's a language model. I mean, that's what it is. It's a language model that can that has more data, more complex ways of critical thinking. It's better than humans, right? But AI, as sophisticated as it is, I mean, I'm not really sure where they're at anymore, but they'll lose to human chess players. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I could be way behind on the.
It may have gotten better.
It may have gotten better, but I mean, it's very interesting what it can and can't do. It seems so powerful, then it seems like it's behind humans and stuff. But what's the progression that they all talk about is artificial intelligence to artificial general intelligence to artificial super intelligence. And artificial general intelligence is essentially taking AI and that is developed past the point of human cognitive thinking and placing it into like essentially a human robot, human type robot that could, because like what can AI do? That's what I mean. What is it?
Yeah,
what is it? It's just a thing. It's a language model on a computer.
Unless you put it into some sort of,
it has no capabilities on its own. Like it can't.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it going to do?
It can't manifest itself in some way.
How's it going to? When you say AI is going to do this,
it has to have a body.
Yeah, it's not a. It doesn't have autonomy. It's. What do you even mean? So yeah, but if you could somehow place it into a humanoid body with that that would give it the capability to take its cognitive ability, its knowledge, and perform tasks, do things with it, right? And then super intelligence would just be the next level beyond that can do things that humans can't even do, right? I mean, like general intelligence would be like you could put an AI system into a humanoid robot and it could carry out tasks in warehouses or in offices and that does actual tasks that a human typically would do that they're no longer needed for. But then super intelligence would be things that we want humans to be able to do right now that they can't pull off. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the thinking is that everyone would become obsolete because of this technology. But you earlier asked, why do they want to build all these data centers? Why do they want to build all these servers or whatever you call them, and factories, or I don't even know what you call them, that houses all this stuff and develops all this stuff? Well, it's because it's the same reason that a long time ago you wanted to build equipment in a manufacturing facility that makes Little Debbie's instead of instead of people putting them together by hand. You can make a big old metal contraption that just churns them out, man, by the thousands, and you just have a few people working jobs to make sure it all goes smooth, unclog it when it gets clogged, keep it running. You know what I mean? But AI is just a further advancement of that. Like, man, there's still things that people can't do. We could get this to really ramp up production and advancement and efficiency and make more money. I mean, if you had the power, if you had
less work,
if you had all this harnessed, if you're the owner of a big company and you could utilize this AI, think about how much more you could make. How faster you could do things. How much less people you would have to pay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this is the beginnings of the next big jump in human technology. Like, it's almost like the Industrial Revolution was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of what this is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Trump even got on there and TV and said something to that sort a few weeks ago. Said we're on the, I don't remember it. But did you watch it, Chili?
No.
He said something to that we're right on the cusp of the most technologically advanced society in the history of the world in a small frame of time.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I mean, you just go back to how it all just builds on each other. I mean, how, you know, if everything hadn't been invented up to this point, you would have never developed AI. I mean, you think about all the precursor technologies that were necessary to build the first computer.
Yeah.
If any of that hadn't been developed, hadn't been understood, hadn't been made, you wouldn't even, I mean, you wouldn't even be close to what you have now. It's so, you know, it all just builds and builds and builds. And AI, this is thinking so far ahead, but AI is not the end. I mean, it is setting the stage for something to be created that without it.
AI is the precursor for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's already a McDonald's somewhere in the country that runs strictly off AI, has voice recognition and everything. No one works in it at all. At all. I think the Bojangles in Jasper, the drive-through is all voice recognition. You don't talk to anyone anymore.
Huh.
It's all voice recognition. And you just think of all the different, first off, up there in Jasper, all the country bumpkin accents up there, but Jasper isn't too far from Atlanta, so you have probably all kinds of accents, and that thing works just picking them up. Mm. I'm sure it probably has some files here and there, you know, right now being as new as it is. But
I'll tell you, I'd rather have an AI machine making my hamburger at McDonald's than I would some of them nasty suckers working in there.
Nasty pores.
By the way, I just looked it up. I'm way behind on the chess thing. Chess is destroying humans now. Or AI engines are destroying humans in chess now.
Really?
Yeah, I was way off on that. But, you know, there's still things it can't do. But it has definitely surpassed in that.
I'm just like I can't see it right now, but I'm wondering if it, or not if, but how this whole new revolution of AI, like how it fits into the biblical context of the way that the world will go. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, but back to the precursor technology for the computer. Look about how it all fits in. I mean, when a light bulb was invented, you don't really think, man, that set the stage for the Antichrist. But guess what it did? I mean, the invention of electricity. I mean, that we would not have computers without that. We would not have AI without that. I mean, that's all led us to this point. I mean, yes, AI is way further down the road, but I mean, it all of that was necessary to get here. So you have to view everything as setting the stage for what is to come.
Yeah, that's why my mind thinks about it, you know. And like the only thing that comes to my mind, like right off the rip, is when you read about the Antichrist and his helper, you know. In Revelations, you read about how they're able to do all these like miracles, essentially. Like basically, it's the whole world's looking at them, being like, "Whoa, they couldn't possibly do the things they're doing if they weren't some sort of extraterrestrial being, right?" And so, I guess the ultimate thing that I bet people are trying to figure out if it would ever be possible would be to have the ability to take a human body and replace a human's consciousness with AI.
Yeah.
Like to be able to implant AI into the brain of a child and replace their consciousness to be able to control everything about their personality, their actions, and everything completely.
What's that chip? It's less about the consciousness, that chip they put in the brain, and more about just controlling, like they can...
Neuralink.
Yeah, they can just make the person do certain things and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that would be like...
Well, that's what they all talk about, merging the human merges with artificial intelligence, what does that create? And is that possible?
It sounds to me like an account in Genesis when humanity merged with an extraterrestrial type of being and created a hybrid human. And the Almighty destroyed everything on account of it. Sounds to me very similar to that. Not exactly, obviously, exactly like that account, but it is strange to think the humans' desires throughout the course of all of humanity always lead them to the same ends. You know what I mean? Like if that happened however many thousands of years ago in the book of Genesis where humans merged with these other beings, like humans had some desire for that. I'm sure it was producing this men of renown, the Bible says. It's like the root of it's funny, the root of unregenerate man, the root of all his desires is to be like God. Like that's the root of the foundation of what drives unregenerate man to everything that he does. He wants the ability to control, to manipulate. He wants the ability to live forever. He wants the ability to have infinite knowledge. Like, that's really foundationally what it is. And it's it was the foundational driving factor between the first sin of man. Right? Yeah. With Adam and Eve in the garden, you know?
It's what
you want to be like God?
It says that's why Lucifer fell too.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to be like God.
Yep.
Didn't they name one of those big computers Elon's Eve?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they did.
A lot of times that ends up being a lie anyway. But
Paris said they did.
Yeah.
Paris James said it's official.
They may have.
Weird things.
Well, I mean, we all
on.
carry around a phone in our pocket that has a bite of an apple out of it.
I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
Blake doesn't. But, I mean, you don't think that's symbolic of something?
That
I mean, come on,
is
man.
not coincidence. I don't care what anybody says. Even if it was done on accident, even if the person who created that logo and the brand and all that didn't have any intention behind it, it was done that way because it had to be done that way. Wild stuff, boys. Wild stuff. I don't know how y'all keep up with all this, man.
Paris Jamie, he's big into it.
Paris James.
Paris James. Well,
Jamie,
Chili's
Paris
pretty.
Jamie.
He hates being called Jamie. Chili, he keeps up with all this stuff somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how he keeps up with it all.
Well, he's young. This is in his generation.
So I'm wondering, Chili, what is it in you that like it makes it fun for you to keep up with all this stuff?
Well,
Because you and I share a common faith in the Lord, you know?
and you don't find it interesting keeping up with this, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but for you, it seems fun to you. So, like,
I don't know. I think I could go on about this, but everyone just thinks I'm lying anyway, so I'll just say it one time and then just not belabor the point. But I think you think I spend a lot of time on it. Maybe I used to, and that's why it is now the way it is, that I can still talk about whatever and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. But I don't even think I make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't spend much time looking at any of that. It's what's happening. Like, if you have your eyes open around you, you know this stuff is going on to some degree. I don't spend hours researching AI. I mean, yes, I look at it some. I saw the interviews pop up with Peter Thiel and Sam Altman, and I see ChatGPT coming up, whatever. But, like, I don't spend hours researching this. It's literally right in front of you. I mean, can you not see that Teslas are being invented? I mean, who doesn't know that a Tesla exists? Oh, okay. I see that. It's riding down the street. What is that? Oh, it's an electric vehicle. I happened to hear the other day that they're pushing an EV mandate, and they want the end of fossil fuels and tracking carbon. I mean, I'm not researching that. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
And you put the pieces together.
Well, just like the cars I saw in Austin driving around and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. It's an automatic, it's an easy conclusion to draw from all this of where we're heading.
And that video that I saw of that deer jumping on the trampoline the other day.
Like you saw that, you just happened to see it. Just living life. People show you things. You see this, you hear about this. Look, man, it's not hard to realize where we're going. I mean, when it's that out in the open, I don't need to do a lot of research. They say it out loud. I mean, in the open. The president does. The owner, the CEOs of these companies, Elon Musk, Sam Altman. I mean, they want to create a future that is built around an interconnected society that is surveilled to the point that the private ownership of cars, homes, anything is severely regulated down to nothing, to where we're safer, we're more efficient, we can all prosper and make more money and have an easier life, where AI does all the hard work and we sit back and just make money off of universal basic income. They say it. I don't have to spend 5 hours researching universal basic income and AI. I don't understand what AI, how it runs. I could research that, try to figure out how it works, what's it really doing. We're all ignorant of how it really works.
Yeah. That's why all them cameras getting put up on them roads.
We've been seeing those for a
them
while.
boogers are everywhere, son.
Yeah.
They can track you down way quicker now than what you think they could.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
like
the social credit score, man. That's what's happening.
These freaking people, man, are what is wrong with these people?
Well, when you listen to them talk, it sounds like they're being possessed by an evil force. Really.
But people love them.
Yeah.
Like the masses love them.
Sometimes they hate them. I mean, Elon's pretty polarizing. Some people love him. Some people really hate him. Peter Thiel, some people think he's the Antichrist. Some people love him. But, I mean, I don't know. As of right now, I don't know any that aren't really polarizing. I don't know of any that are universally loved.
Okay.
I don't know of any.
Well, that's a good thing anyway.
I mean, it's pretty split, you know. I mean, just like Trump is split. People love him. People hate him. Some people think he's Jesus. Some people think he's the devil, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that is a hallmark of somebody that will arise, is it won't be split.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
To be able to unite the entire world.
Yeah, we've never seen that. Even the most loved people, I mean, we see it's one or the other. You love them or hate them. It'll be interesting when somebody is seemingly universally loved.
It will be.
Yeah. And no one will be ever universally loved. I mean,
majority.
Yeah, the vast, vast, vast majority would be a real new thing.
It really would be. Well, all of this really leads me into what I've been thinking about, what I wanted to talk about or share with you guys that are listening to the podcast today. I truly believe that no man can properly wield power or influence or authority or anything. I don't believe any man can wield it, like, for the good. I really don't, man. That is something. That's what I called Big Jeff for last night. I called Jeff Cochran last night because I know he's. I'm trying to, because what I'm experiencing is on a much lower level than big famous people and this and that. But I am learning new things and growing in new ways, and I'm trying to lean on people around me that I know are well established and really grounded in their faith and who they are, and people who I respect the way that they've lived their lives, and that's what I was calling Big Jeff about last night. It's like, man, when you do something that turns out for whatever reason, it turns out to get an overwhelmingly positive response. I think that is the most dangerous position that you can possibly be in as a man, is to have a bunch of men who are praising you for something they see it as you did it, right? Because no one can wield that. And it was interesting because this is a conversation that can apply to everyone. Because when I talked to Jeff last night, he said, Chad, he said, I get what you're saying, man. He said, because my thing is with my son, Chili. He said, I have had to fight my whole life against what it is pride, really. I think that's the thing that wells up in man when he starts to get some sort of influence or starts to become an authority. He's like, I've had to battle my whole life. Every time, Chili would do something cool or good or something like that, people would tell me, oh, man, you did a great job raising him. You did. And he's like, I've always had to battle against that and just always constantly tell myself, like, he told me, he said, I've had to tell myself my whole life, all I did as a father is try not to mess him up. In other words, anything that he does that was good, which Chili's done a lot of good things in life, he's really had to battle against, like, letting his pride well up as a father. And I didn't even think about that, but I was like, man, this is a relatable conversation to everyone. Parents who let this pride well up, and boy, I did a good job raising him or her or somebody that owns a big business. Yeah, man, I figured all that out and this and that, man. So something that happened to me was I've seen some clips of some things that I said, and I'm watching this clip and I'm like, oh, dang, that did sound pretty good. Whoa. Was that? I said that? I mean, play it back. I'm just being straight up honest with you guys. I mean, I'm committed to being honest with you guys because that's exactly where the danger is. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden, if you find yourself in a position in life where all of a sudden people think that you are some sort of authority or some sort of expert, and then you hear these things and you're like, dang, I nailed that, buddy. Buddy, you better start backing yourself up, son. Like, you really better start backing yourself up, because I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't want a thorn in my flesh. I want to avoid that at all costs. Now, like, I don't want to learn things that I already know. I don't want to have to learn them again the hard way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, how do you, when you experience some success in life, raising kids, starting a business, winning this race, proclaiming the gospel, whatever it is, like, how do you like push back against that, but like respectfully, you know what I mean? And so as I was talking, I'd be interested to hear y'all's advice, and if that's ever kind of welled up in you before, like, oh yeah, boy, I did do pretty good at that. I am the best at running this rock crusher or whatever it may be, like, screw these jokers, you know what I mean? They should be listening to me. Yeah, they should listen to me. Like, and I was talking to Jeff last night, and the advice he gave me was, he was like, well, hey, man, like, you're conscious of that. And he's like, you'll be all right as long as you stay conscious of that. You know what I mean? And you see that when that pride kind of pops up in you and you do start feeling like, yeah, man, y'all do need to listen to me. Yeah, I do got a lot of this stuff figured out, especially this Bible stuff,
I don't need to upload receipts.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, what do you do about that? And this is, most of us in life, we experience this on a much smaller level than these individuals that we have just been talking about, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, all that. Like, I feel like these men who have they've given themselves over to that pride of accomplishment, and that is essentially how they've gotten to the point that they are. Because when you do something that's good, you can capitalize on that, but you have to lean into the prideful nature of that. You have to come out and say, like, if I said anything good, if I would come out and say, yeah, you heard what I said. Now let me tell you what else. Now let me tell you what else. Yeah, you should listen to me. Yeah, so-and-so's wrong and I'm right. Yeah, that's how you continue to build upon that until you eventually get to a position. Everybody thinks about, like, oh, how does somebody get in that position of one of these men? Donald Trump, Elon Musk, all these people. Well, any of us can get there. Like, you can get there. It's not, the equation is simple. It takes time, but the equation is simple. It's that you don't ever push back against that feeling of, oh, no, I need to remember what my place really is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's just something that I think is true. No man can wield that without becoming totally and completely corrupt and controlled by the prince of the power of this air. But practically, I'm trying to learn how to process that and how to stay true to who I actually am, which is when we talk about spiritual things, I'm a baby in Christ. Like, I'm still just a baby, you know what I mean? Like still trying, like, maintain the perspective of who I actually am, like, in a respectful way. Like, I'm trying to learn that. And the reason that's hard to learn is because nobody teaches that. You know, the only thing that people teach is how to win, continue to build on your pride, continue, screw everybody else. I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, keep going, go higher, go higher, go higher. Nobody's teaching or talking about pumping the freaking brakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, did you feel that way when you first started podcasting and started doing things? You went on Rich Roll and those other few, and you got all this recognition and attention. Did you feel the same way then as you do now?
I think it's on a higher level now.
Yeah.
I think maybe I felt it some in the sense in the early days, but I think it's just on a higher level now because I have more things now that I can really tangibly look at. Oh yeah, I do. I've read these books. I've had this experience. I'm older now. Yeah. Like, you know, I've got more now that I can really cling to and really feed my pride with than I had when I was first starting out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you feel it, you know, at different levels at different times, and you know, you felt it that first time and you had to deal with it then and figure out how to get through it, and then it kind of becomes the normal thing, and you're able to reflect the glory back to God and tell people, hey, you know, it's not me, have conversations, and then you kind of go on this marginal kind of growth, but then you hit this other spot and it's a big jump. You know, it's almost like we talk about getting too much too fast sometimes. Sometimes we can get too much too fast. But when you grow and build over a long period of time, you don't ever really, I mean, maybe it sneaks up on you more that way than on a big jump. Because in a big jump, it hits you all at once and you're able to recognize it. But over a period of 10 years, I think you could slowly drift into that without actually realizing you got to where you got. So I think it's in a way a blessing to be able to experience it that way, because it's such a stark contrast to the way you were feeling before about yourself, and now you feel all of these emotions and these feelings and this temptations come about because it's such a big jump, you know. So I think it's good that it came that way, because if it hadn't, you might have drifted right on into the fall.
Well, okay, then that's the good part. Is like, if we, meaning people of the way, us who are in Christ, like, if we don't push back against this, like, we will fall. Not from grace, but like the Lord will knock you down. And like, that's the part I want to, that's the lesson I'm talking about. I don't want to have to learn again. Like, I don't want to have to get, Lord, I don't want to have to get knocked down again. I know I'm going to get knocked down at some point in my life, but like, hey, let's wield this the proper way, so that we don't have to relearn these lessons. Chili, you got something?
What are you trying to wield?
Just the feeling of gratitude for
The glory.
yeah, the glory. Yeah,
I think you can't. I think man. A better way to say it is that man will not wield the glory.
yeah, that's good. That's much more accurate to what I'm experiencing.
Because, there will be kings and there will be powerful men. I mean, somebody that, you're never going to create a world on this earth without Jesus, right? That there's not some people in positions of power. I mean, if they just all went away, there'd be a vacuum there and it would be filled. And I actually think, in some extent, you can say man can wield power. It's been done, and no one will do it perfectly, but there's been much better leaders throughout history. There's been kings from the dawn of the earth, and it says there was good kings and bad kings, and people, not that they were perfect, but what they can't wield is the glory.
Mm-hmm.
And how you can be in a position of authority or power or continue to grow in this or be the best at something. Be the best runner who wins everything, got world records. Can you wield that? Well, I think it comes down to what you do with the glory of it, because there will be glory given to that and to you.
Oh, man.
But
yeah.
if you defer it, like Blake said, I mean, you can't control what somebody else does. You can't control the praise that you get from going on a podcast and doing a good job or whatever people think you did. You can't control how they react to that. You can't control the negativity, and it's too many people get sucked into the negative comments, and you can't control the positive, that people heaping praise on them. You're going to get both, maybe overwhelmingly one or the other, but neither one. Well, we're talking about the positive and the glory here. You can't take credit for that. Mm-hmm. and really, the problem is not you getting praised. It's if you take credit for it. That's the problem. Because you are trying to take the glory away that belongs to God. And you even acknowledge belongs to God. So the question of how you wield all of it is, don't wield it. Give it all to God. But how can you do that when the temptation is to take it? The temptation is to take it, to hear all these compliments and go, yes, I want that. Like, thank you. It feels good because I did do a dang good job. But it's the answer, however exactly this is done, is to not take it.
That's a further explanation of the difference in what actually happens and how it's received, in the action and in the heart it's received with. Because, we read many times in the Bible about, basically you receive your thanks and your glory and your praise on earth, then you're not going to get it when you get to heaven, right? Like the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, so you can't stop someone from saying, thank you, you did a good job.
That's
but
fine.
You can stop yourself from saying, yeah, you're right. You're darn right I did.
Yeah. I mean, that
you can say, hey, praise the Lord. Like, I always think.
I think I've succumbed to that glory more so in running.
Yeah, I have.
Than I have succumbed to it in this most recent overwhelming praise that I've received online. But like running, I think I've succumbed to that glory a lot more. Like, yeah, you're right. I did. Nobody could freaking beat me today because I trained harder than everybody here.
Yeah, and you probably felt like you earned it. Like, it's hard to feel like you earned something that you went and did for the Lord. It's hard. But then you say, well, I put in the work for this, so who else is going to get
I could see it be the same way in raising kids, too.
Yeah.
I could see that be
Yeah.
the same way.
But I mean, even with racing, I can look back at my own life. That was the goal, essentially. I didn't even really realize it, but I mean, I wanted the glory of it. Like, I want to be the best, because then I'm gonna be the dang best, and I can walk around like the best. Because I don't even, man, you have to do things in life. You have to do things. You have to work. You have to, you just simply have to do things, or else you just live a wasted, meaningless life.
Well, yeah, you're fulfilling purpose.
And we have to do things. So I believe it is actually appropriate to do them the best that you can. So doing something the best that you can essentially is trying to be the best at it. But it's a different look when you say, man, I want to be the best at this and beat everybody and take the credit and glory for that and get what comes with that. Like, man, I can reap a lot of benefits and rewards from being the best at this and build upon that, versus, if that is a result of, if that happens as a result of me working as hard as I can for this, if I do become the best of it, I'm going to consciously choose to not take the glory for that, whatever that means. It doesn't mean you refuse to ever be paid for something, or refuse to ever. So it's tough to really balance it, but.
And it's not the best at all costs either, because
Exactly.
someone could say, I'm going to be the best, and they could totally waste everything else in their life and say, I'm going to be the best at whatever this thing is. And then you've done it at all costs, and then you're not the best at those other things either. So it's like, how can you be the best at everything in its proper perspective and proper priority?
You got anything on this, CB?
I probably got a blue million thoughts on it. I don't know if I could put them together to make any sense, but you mentioned, being the best at the rock crusher. So I'll just take an example from where I work there. Things become so easy to me when I worked crushing rock and running equipment that I thought I was the best, and I was looked at upon, other people. Oh man, you're awesome. You can do this. How long you think you can do that? 2 hours, and it might take me 30 minutes. Like, it was so easy, I'd overshoot what it was so I could have time to do whatever else I wanted to do. You know what I mean? But also in that, like, I got humbled a bunch leading up to that, and even during that, like, make a $5,000 misdiagnosis on the engine of the crusher, and they come out and they spend $5,000 on it, and then it's doing the same thing. Well, you said it was this or that. So then it was a teetotal start over for 2 or 3 years, and then I become really good at diagnosing the engine. So that then I had to make men get humbled in a different way, and so on and so forth. But, it also boiled down to, like, who was I actually listening to that, oh, you're doing a great job, you're really doing awesome, you're really doing. It was really people, and this isn't to sound condescending or mean, that people that really didn't have no idea what I was doing anyway.
Yeah.
They didn't really have no idea what was going on. So their praise was really just, they just thought it was cool or sexy.
Lip service.
That was going on. But the people that knew how to do the work and knew what was up and knew the time frames, and that could be bluntly honest, and that would help me, and that also understood you're going to get humbled, like, you may not know exactly everything would give me an honest assessment of everything, and that's where the true value come from, was from those people. So then I learned not to be, and I toted this over until, raising my kids. Like, I learned not to be afraid of failure, because when you think you are the best, you believe you can't fail at all. And you'll make a million excuses of why that wasn't your fault, of what happened, why you didn't win the race, or why this, or why, that misdiagnosis really wasn't my fault. You'll make a million bazillion excuses, and then you truly don't get humbled. You truly don't get put right back into your place to realize that was totally my ego. All this skill, everything I have here is the blessings from God. Like, you never get brought back to that place if everything's so easy and you're not getting, the right kind of feedback from the right kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's maybe that's you said it in a different way. I think what I think I want to avoid is getting humbled. Like I'm like, can I humble myself? Like, Lord, teach me to humble myself so that you don't have to humble me.
Yeah.
Because I know you will, Lord, because you love me. You know?
Yeah.
The same thing can't be said for men and women who are not in Christ. The Lord will not humble them. Which is why we see people, the biggest figures in our culture, who go to the level that they go to, is because the Lord's not going to humble them. They're just compounding on the pride, and they're taking it as far as they can possibly take it. But for us, the Lord, because in His love for us, now He might be long-suffering. He might let us get in a real bad way before He finally does. I think I said on my truck talk yesterday, I think that the Almighty will raise men up sometimes just so that they can then fall, be humbled, and so that then He can be glorified. These are, speaking of God's people,
right.
Be glorified in who they become after they fall. And so when you see a brother or a sister fall, don't ever count them out. You know what I mean? Because that might not be the Lord just taking them completely out of the fight or the equation. Like, that might be for a purpose. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, we want to at all costs avoid having to be humbled by the Almighty. Okay, let me humble myself. Teach me, Holy Spirit, to humble myself, so that I can avoid that painful process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a good way to say it, man. And I think you said too something that's I think important, and I think it's that we, as we go through this life and we have we experience accomplishments, or that we're used to do something good, we should be very selective about who we listen to in terms of feedback. And what makes that so hard now? This.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so hard, right? You know, I got very few men in my life that I should really ever even be listening to any feedback for. You know, 4 of them sitting in this room right now. Dad, Blake, Chili, Corn. Today, Brian came up to me. That's who I talked to at the coffee shop. Which, by the way, Brian's going to come on the podcast, and we're going to dig into Reformed theology, all right? And really talk about that. Sorry, Cornbread.
He can have your seat. Is that what you're saying?
So, yeah, you know, there's a good handful of people that we should be careful about who we're getting feedback from. Jeff Cochran, why did I call Jeff? It's because he's one of those guys that the Lord's put in my life that it's like, okay, here's a man who I can take feedback from, whether it be good or bad. I know it's going to be honest, and I know it's going to come from a place that's that his perspective is already in glorifying the Lord and not me. And men want to worship men. You know what I mean? Like, men want to trust in men. They want to worship men. Men want to put their hope in men. And if that's you, I can say it's been me at times in life. Like, we got to, if we're ever going to give anybody any good word, we got to get out of that perspective. You know?
I think, you know, when you talk about being careful who you get it from, you read negative comments and you say, I ain't got to listen to them because they don't know nothing about me. But then you read positive comments and you say, yep, you're right. You're right. I'm going to listen to that.
So
that's the hard thing, because we want it, like our flesh wants to hear those good things.
Yeah.
And that's the that's the temptation. But really, they have no more right to say good job or bad job than you know.
Well, so negative feedback, again, it has to come from the right type of people, right? Because that's why I knew I can talk to any of you guys. I can talk to Jeff. I can talk to any, and like I know that if I need negative feedback, you're going to give me negative feedback for the right reasons, and you're going to deliver it in the right way. And I thought that that video that them heads posted, I haven't got to watch the whole thing, but the little bit that I watched, what is their channel?
The Fortis Institute.
Yeah,
isn't that right?
The Wretched.
Yeah.
Richard?
Yeah, the
Fortis Institute.
Yeah. That guy, I don't know that guy from nobody, but apparently he's been in the ministry for 25 years or something, and like not everything that they talked about was positive. And to me, that was great. But because of how they delivered it. Like, you know what I mean?
right.
We can give each other negative feedback out of love and delivered in a way that is beneficial to each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah,
but I mean that
very rarely happens.
Yeah, and certain people, maybe even that guy, I don't know, are not doing it out of love. They're doing it to try to attract people to view their video.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, so it's the intent behind everything. If that guy really cared that some of the things you said might not have been right or whatever, then he should have made that video and text or emailed it over or whatever. He could have figured out how to get it there. He wanted to capitalize on views. So
nonetheless, I think found like getting down to the bottom of the point that I'm trying to make is that everything, all of the voices that we get, all of the stuff that we get from internet land, like truly none of it really matters.
yeah.
Like, but I get to where I place more. I place stock in those at some point, and many points in my life. Like, it's just good to remember. Hey, the opinions, not even opinions, the feedback that we get on the things that we do, good or bad, as men, the feedback that we get from other people who we are in relationship with, like that's really the only feedback that you can trust. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And really take on board. And it's not always going to be perfect feedback either, even from men that you're in relationship with. But at least you should take it on board, and you should make considerations based off of that feedback that you get.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just it's a good reminder for all of us, because we're all connected in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. Well, everybody watching this is in some way, shape, or form online.
Yeah.
So it's just a great reminder, man, to and I tell you another thing it does, it makes you value the fact that you have people in your life who you do trust to give you feedback on the things that you're doing. You know what I mean? I think there are a bunch of people that don't even have those people in their lives, man, and that would be tough, dude. That would be real tough.
I think with you too, you're not just giving this advice, you really put it into practice. You know, I feel like you've done that for a long time. I've seen you, seek people for advice and for help with things, and for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, I think you're not just giving that advice because it sounds good. I mean, you've actually done it and seen the difference that it makes, and I don't do that enough. But
Chili, that's enough praise. That's enough.
No, I mean,
I'm just saying. I mean, he put it's,
I am big on like these people in my life that have been and are my mentors. Like, I'm big on that, man. Like, I see how blessed I am to have mentors both in the past and currently in my life.
Yeah.
That can that I can call and be like, hey, man, what'd you think about this thing I just did? You know what I mean?
But that takes that takes a level of humility, because that's really why that's why I don't want to do it sometimes, is because I'm like, yeah, I could ask this person, but I mean, I know just as much as anything, you know, like, I don't need that.
I'm really blessed I don't struggle with that, because it's saved me some big problems in my life. All right. Y'all get ready for the Patreon question of the week. I am going to hit the head real quick. Tell us about our partner that brought the show today, Barbell Apparel.
You got the shorts on. Show them off.
I got the ultra shorts on.
That's what I got on today.
Dang, ultra shorts.
Yep. Tell them about them, Chili.
Well, can we talk about this?
No, not yet. They can look at it, just know it's coming.
They can gawk at it.
Yeah, just gawk at it. That's big. That's coming soon.
Just gawk at that. Man, it's soft.
Yeah, that's nice.
But, well, I guess we can't talk about this, but we can talk about the other things that Barbell makes. You know, they've been a long-time partner, and some people are probably, I don't know, they might even be tired of hearing about it. But do you know why we keep talking about it? You know why, Blake?
Yeah, because they're the best.
Because that's literally all we wear.
It is. When I went to Kenya, and that's all I brought over there, and I would see Bob in the morning, and he's always asking me like what I'm wearing, what kind of gear I'm got and stuff, because I'm a gearhead. And he's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Barbell." And then the next morning we go into some meeting, a church meeting or something, and got on, you know, dress pants. He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Barbell." They got everything. It's literally the only clothes in my closet.
Yeah, I mean, you know, from jeans to dress pants to dress shirts to all the athletic clothes that we wear, whether it be tank tops or ultralight tech tees or the Ranger shorts or now the ultralight shorts. I mean, that's literally all we wear. So if you haven't heard of them, definitely go check them out at barbellapparel.com. We even have a 3 of 7 section with Be Hard When It Gets Hard ultralight tech tees, 3 of 7 shirts. I think they still have some branded shirts based off of the race, right?
Yeah.
1 mile out. That's still in
some
there.
Logo stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't even aware of that. A lot of people have watched the 1 mile out documentary, loved it, but they don't even know that there's apparel based on it. You know what I mean? So the joggers that you actually wore in the race to the dang graphic tee with that logo of you is pretty dang cool. Mm-hmm. I do like that shirt, you know. So
got the don't take quitting or
take quitting off the table. Yeah, take quitting off the table shirt. That's another cool one. So it's not just the solid colors. I wear a lot of just solid things, but it's also got the cool graphic tees on there. It's something for everybody.
All right. Thank you, Barbell Apparel, for being such an awesome partner with us here at 307 Project for so long. Cornbread, what do we got from Patreon? If you guys don't know, Patreon is our exclusive page where we do an extra podcast every week, and we do Resurrected 3 Sundays a month. If you are into scripture and faith and stuff like that, Resurrected is a live call that we do 3 Sundays a month where I teach, Blake teaches, Cornbread sometimes teaches. Still hadn't got Chili in there.
He has done
he's done it a time or two.
Yeah.
2 like
I'm not much of a teacher.
Yeah.
1%
So,
of the time.
Patreon, and we take a question from Patreon every week. So,
This question here come in while you was on your hiatus, kayakado.
okay.
From Mr. Trey Wilson. So I'm 21, just got married, and we have a kiddo on the way. Super blessed. However, my plan was to join the military. I truly feel like it was God calling me, and I felt super passionate about it. However, having a kid definitely makes it different. Question number 1, is joining the military in my position? Should he do it? That's his question. Number 2, do you think God calls us to do stuff, or do we just convince ourselves God is calling us?
Well, I probably can't really answer your second question with 100% certainty, but your first question, I can only tell you from experience, the guys that I knew that were in the military with kids during the initial years really, really struggled. Because, you know, when you first join, you have your training pipeline, you know, and then you get to your team or your unit or whatever, and you're the new guy, and you're having to do all the bull crap. You're there all the time. You're expected to be on every single training trip, every single thing that's going on. You're expected to be a part of it. And so guys that I knew that I went through buds, obviously, that went through buds that had a wife, and especially a wife and kids, really, really struggled, and almost none of them made it. Almost none of them made it. All right? I didn't have any insight into what was going on with their wife, how it affected the wife and the children back home. Obviously, I could just see how it was affecting this dude and his performance going through this training pipeline. Now, guys who went through the training, did a deployment or two, got into an established position, you know, got a little bit of rank about them, had some say into, you know, what they were doing, and you know, were able to spend a little more time at home, and then decided to get married and have kids. I think they did fine. You know what I mean? But going into that career, man, with a wife and with kids, I mean, that was one of the biggest pieces of advice Frank Cutler gave me when I went to the Navy, and I thought it was silly. You know, he said, "Look, dude, you do not even need a girlfriend. You don't need nothing. Don't have nothing. A girlfriend, surely don't have a wife. Like, we sure didn't even get to the idea of having kids. Like, that was just not that was just too silly to even talk about." You know what I mean? But that was one of the biggest advices he gave me, is you can't go into this career path unless you are going to be committed, you know, 100% to this career path. That being said, we're talking about the Navy SEALs. You know, other career paths within the military might be less demanding than the Navy SEALs, but irregardless, they're all going to be a lot more demanding than anything that you're going to be working on out here in the civilian world, because you don't have any say about nothing when you're in the military. Nothing. You do what you that's
can't
why
even really quit when you want, can you?
it is truly service. Like, being in the military, I know people like to say, like, thank you for your service, but like, it is truly a form of service, because you don't do nothing that you want to do unless they tell you that you can do this thing that you want to do, you know, for a couple of days. You know, you want to take some leave or something like that. So just from my experience, I would focus on being a husband and a father if I had a wife and kids, because I believe that's what the Lord calls us to do, above and beyond anything, above and beyond our career. What we do, we are way more concerned about what we do in terms of our career than the Lord is. We're way more concerned about it than the Almighty is. I'm going to tell you that much. Man, you know, the Almighty's giving you a good wife, a good marriage, and a child. Son, I mean, dude, I don't know you, but I would go all in on that. Yeah. That's a big job, by the way. Like, you want to break that down, what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? That's a big job. But good things about that, you are fulfilling what the Lord has called you to and created you to be, which is a husband and a leader of your family, and now a father. Like, there's no bigger fulfillment in terms of what we can do with our lives and what we've been called to do as men with our lives than that. But the other thing is that you going all in on your position as your job and your calling as a husband and a father, that's actually going to give you some good returns later on in life. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, there are good things that come from a career in the military. All right? But for the most part, when the military is done with guys, it spits them out and they are lost. Like, not very often do you see people who get a good return on that investment, the military being. I actually have a call with an old friend today. It's weird. I have people who are texting me and calling me who used to hate me from the military, who have my number from decades ago, texting me and calling me, asking me for advice, who used to hate me. And I'm like, okay. Oh, man, I don't know that much, but the thing is, like, these guys were very successful in that career, way more successful than I was in that career. I mean, these are guys that spent the majority of their career over at SEAL Team 6 and stuff. And I served with them for just a little bit before they went over there. Well, they've been spit out the backside of that pipeline, the elite of the elite, and they're lost, man. There's not a big return on that investment. You put your energy into your woman, your marriage, and that kid, son, you're going to reap a harvest from that. You really are. So that would be my advice. Your second question, do we just make things up in our heads, or are we called to do things? Man, I'm still trying to figure out the answer to that. Where do I stand right now? I think most of the time we make things up in our head as it pertains to our careers. Most of the time that's more us than the Almighty. That's my 2 cents on that. So. Good. Well, boys, I got my first guitar lesson coming up. Look at that boy, me picking that thing, boy. I'm gonna take guitar lessons. You know, when you get old like me, they say your brain starts whittling down, and that, you know, if you will keep learning new things, learning how to do new things, it's gonna, you know, keep your wits about you a little longer. So I'm gonna go and piddle around with this guitar. And
we don't need you losing your wits.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Dang, it was good to be back on a Wednesday episode, you know.
We'll read Super Chats.
Yeah, we'll hit Super Chats. Wednesday episodes, for you guys that don't know, Mondays are Monday meetings where we go through scriptures, and Wednesdays are more of a freestyle episodes. So if this is your first Wednesday podcast, that's kind of, they're always different, but we just, you know, do what we want on Wednesdays.
You want a ruck challenge update?
Has it started?
We're in the middle.
It has started.
Of week 1. 5 mile, 40-pound fastest ruck. Blake Alvey's leading right now with a 8:47 pace.
8:47 for 5 miles with a 40-pound ruck. That's pretty stout.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom, who's always on Resurrected, 8:53 pace.
Ooh, he's right behind him.
Chris Wheat just knocked me out of number 10 to number 11.
Oh, that I threw in there you were number 10.
But now he went way up the ladder. He was way faster than me. But I'm going to go ahead and give you the last place right now. Only 15 competitors have completed their first attempt. You know, James Scoggins, remember him throwing up at the end of the rock course?
I know, James.
I love you, James. He's got a 19:12 pace.
I mean, with a 40-pound ruck,
but
man.
He did over 1,000 and something feet elevation, too. He didn't do it at a track. He got out in the woods and got busy.
Yeah, well, that adds like...
Yeah, James, you got to go find a track, Bubba.
That adds... how many minutes would that add, you think, over terrain like that? A lot.
Yeah,
20-minute mile, that's 3 miles per hour with a 40-pound ruck going uphill. That's a hustle pace right
there.
Yeah. James ain't playing.
Thanks for that update. I want to get those weekly on how our ruck challenge is going. This is a big online competition that Cornbread and Chili has put together, and we've got 15 competitors who will come and compete for the championship position at the Mountain Mama Farms race coming up this October. Registration for Mountain Mama Farms is live on Ultra Sign Up. I'll start putting a link in the attachment or in the description of these shows. Also, selection for 2026
3 of 7 project training missions is starting now.
Dang. Good night.
Gosh, man.
You sick?
I'm a little under the weather, boy.
Oh my.
I seen a comment. Someone said they're not going to listen anymore if you don't stop coughing.
Man. So if you want to come do a ROP course, well, we've got hundreds of applications in for that already. If we want to do a proving grounds, we got a bunch in there for that too. But now is the time to put your application in because selection is starting for ROP course, proving grounds, and basic course for 2026.
Yep. And you can, don't just apply for the ROP course. If you're interested in all of the training, well, apply for the ROP course. Put in your application for the basic course. Put in your application for the proving ground. You don't just have to pick one. So
Yeah.
They're all totally different.
Because if you want to do them all, this go around, we have hundreds and hundreds applying for the ROP, so you may not get selected. But there may be more spots available in proving ground or basic course. So apply there. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bad coughing fit. Sorry about that, listeners.
We had chili beans come in at $1.99. Can I get a receipt so I can file this on my taxes?
There you go.
Kick rocks, chili beans coming in for $1.99 super chat. That's disgraceful.
We had deplorable lawn guy come in at $19.99.
Thank you for a decent super chat.
DLG's back.
He said, beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop. Breaking news. Urgent message for a Mr. Chad Wright. Read below. Chad, Brooke was right.
Okay, well, that's a stupid thing to say.
Thank you, deplorable.
Come in here, give me $20, say something stupid like that. Go cut some grass or something, guy.
Got Blake the Jake coming at $1.99.
What?
Said
Blake
gobble,
the
gobble, gobble.
We got a bunch of daggone retards on here today.
Blake the Jake.
Good night.
We had cornbread crumbs come in at
my
$1.99. Said, I'm an AI bot.
There you go.
Wow.
It might be.
Matt Butcher, $9.99.
Thank you, Matt.
Praying for y'all and everyone watching, specifically Philippians 4:7.
Thank you, Matt
you,
Butcher.
Matt.
I know you're waiting on it.
Magnum Norse coming at $10.
Thank you, Magnum.
The human brain has more complexity than the universe, according to some neuroscientist, which is why Musk is pushing the Neuralink tech, in my humble, drunk opinion.
I'll be darned. Well, we got some drunks listening to the podcast now.
We always have.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We had cornbread crumbs come back in at $1.99. Said, that AI Bojangles is good.
Who is this guy?
I have no idea.
You had Magnum Norse come
Somebody
back
from
in at
Dallas.
$5.
Magnum.
Stop playing with God. LMAO.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a stupid thing to say, too.
Had Marty
Well,
Bingham.
no, because I think he's talking about AI. I think he's talking about AI. Okay. I'm sorry, Magnum.
Marty Bingham, $4.99. Showbiz delivered such a great message on Rogan that it makes it kind of hard to mess with him about it. Then he come back in at $19.99.
Yep,
But I'm a
B.
professional, so here goes. At least he didn't talk about the anuses and rectums of eating turtles, unless he did. And Joe cut it. It's hard to say.
Thank you, Marty.
Marty, I got 5 words for you. Shut up, you old geriatric.
Quit coughing. We had Magnum Norse come in at $5.
Who is this Magnum dude?
Globalists are demons who want to control your mind.
Did anybody from Dallas, Georgia chime in?
Thank you,
I
Magnum.
don't know yet.
Thank you, Magnum.
We had Marty Bingham come back in at $19.99. But let's not let that overshadow the fact that he took a big vacation contrary to company policy. I think he went to Gatlinburg and went on a fried Oreo binge.
Went to Dollywood. I've been in Dollywood.
Thank you, Marty.
Just telling y'all, I've been out kayaking and stuff. I've actually been hanging out in Dollywood.
Chili was mad you didn't submit your chit for your time off.
My leave chit?
Leave
Yeah.
chit.
Yeah, that's true. I did forget to do that.
Mark Stoddard, Tugboat. Mark Stoddard,
Stoddard.
Tugboat. $19.99. God is good all the time.
Believe that.
Thank you, Mark.
We had Magnum Norse come in at $5.
Who is this guy?
He's
got
busting out, though.
his name has a crown with the number 2 next to it. I don't know if that means he's the number 2 chatter.
Oh,
He's busting out.
He says, "The truth shall set you free."
agreed.
Look at him. He's spitting that scripture now, boy.
Magnum Norse come in at $5. He
Good
said,
night.
"Are the Templars still around? Let's get some."
They ain't around no more. We killed them.
We had James Jennings come in at $3.07. Penhody 100 this year. Y'all in? Appreciate y'all.
Well, I'm not in, but good luck, buddy.
Yeah, you get it, boy.
McLeod Plays.
McLeod.
$1.99. So proud to see you on JRE platform sharing the word.
Thank you, McLeod. Why don't you come back in with a little bigger super chat than that next time?
And we had Chickadee come in at $9.99.
It's been a long time for Chickadee.
They said Donna Jean Wild of Alberta, Canada, also a grandmother of 12, earned her second world record by successfully doing 1,575 push-ups in 60 minutes. Wild's first world record was an abdominal plank.
You see what happens when we move the podcast back to the main channel?
No.
Thank you, Chickadee.
Did not happen.
All right.
How much? What did Chickadee give? $9.99, just a lie. All over again.
Got a bunch of pores on the super chat today.
We didn't even have you, buddy. What's his name?
Harvest McCullough.
Yeah, Harvest. He wasn't even here today.
He probably didn't know it swapped to the back to the other channel.
All right, boys. Lord willing, we'll see y'all Monday. Enough said.
Wow. You were waiting on Harvest that whole